So let me take you through a brief personal journey of myself and tell you how I discovered this book. So the first challenge I faced in life was my career choice. Alright? So how many of you have seen the movie 3 Idiots? It was released long back, 2014 I think. Most of you, right? Most of you. You remember the dialogue in that movie? लड़का हुआ तो engineer, लड़की हुई तो doctor, right? Right? So naturally, the two conventional or the career choices for most of them were either an engineer or a doctor. So since my childhood, I was the typical Sharma ji ki beti. You know, always excelled in academics, won public speaking competitions, and performed dance at numerous events. So almost everyone assumed that her fate is sealed. She'll become a doctor. Of course she will become a doctor. Or she'll become an engineer, right? I mean, of course she's studying so well. What other career choice would she have? She has to choose that. But I surprised everyone because I chose law as a career choice. And almost everyone criticized me because when you say a lawyer, the image most people have in mind is the one who wears a black coat, walks dramatically in a courtroom and says, Your Honor, objection, my lord, right? That's what you think of a lawyer, but actually law is a very widespread area. It has multiple facets to it, and my interest was in corporate. So corporate law is I give legal advice for companies and MNCs. I don't go to the court, I don't be so dramatic, I basically advise companies. So naturally, many people criticized me, but my parents always stood by my side. And I did not put myself down based on what people said. I always believed that you must choose something which you're passionate about. Right? You must analyze what your strengths are, what your interests are, and based on that, choose a career that suits you. I'm not saying that you should not do engineering. Definitely do it, but do it if you love it. Right? So don't do just because everyone else in the crowd is doing it. Do it if you like it and if you really love it. Right? So things went smoothly then, and I was hired. I gained admission at the National Law Institute, University, Bhopal, and I graduated with flying colors and 5 gold medals. Yeah, that was you on myself, but yeah, so that's what I did. And things went smoothly. And as I thought that life was going on smoothly, I was presented with the second challenge in my life, right? So, post working at a law firm for a year as a mergers and acquisitions associate, I decided to do my master's in international business from the University of New South Wales in Australia. So, before I jump into my story in more detail, how was COVID-19 pandemic for you? How many of you were depressed during those 2 years? Raise your hands. No one? Was it a smooth? Wow, very dedicated children. There, right? Yeah, there. It was very lonely, depressing, and probably your lectures were also cold, right? You had remote classes, online classes. I'm not sure if this was the case here, but generally it was, I think, a very tough time for most of us. So naturally, I gained admission in September 2019, and within 3 months, the COVID-19 pandemic stuck. And I was stuck in Australia. The borders were closed. For 2 years, I couldn't travel home. I couldn't even travel within Australia. Most of the lectures became online. I was extremely depressed, and it was a very hard time, tough time for me to navigate. But I kept myself strong, and I was very persistent. This experience taught me to stay persistent and have the will to keep going, despite how harsh the circumstances are. Moreover, I also started trying to relieve my stress through avocations such as dance. So I'm a Kuchipudi dancer, professionally trained dancer. I practice every day. But during that time, I also started taking online classes through an NGO just to relieve that stress and do something outside of my work to keep my sanity. Right? So that's how this experience taught me to stay strong, despite how harsh the circumstances are. So great. That brings me to my third challenge, which I faced in life. Now let me quickly ask you, how many languages can you speak? Yeah, how many languages do you speak? You don't have to stand. I'm not a teacher. How many languages? 2 languages. Great. What are they? English and Telugu. Great. Anyone else? There. How many languages do you speak? Yeah, the other is only one. 2 languages. So it's hard to deny that learning a language is challenging. When you're small, probably it's easy to pick up languages, and people have that innate ability, right, to learn. But naturally, once you grow old, it's a difficult thing. So once I graduated with my master's, moving Germany. Germany was a very nice country. I mean, the pictures were great. The snow looked amazing in the photos. But the big problem over there was the language barrier, right? English. They don't really speak a great deal of English, but you need to know German. And in the roles that I applied for as a strategy associate, it's a very client-facing role. And I had to really navigate the German language. Almost everyone said that it's impossible to find a suitable role without knowing German. But I put in my 100% effort to it. Every day, I applied relentlessly and really gave my 100% and not pay heed to what people said and secured a well-paid strategy role even before moving to Germany. So what this challenge taught me in life is no matter what people say or what happens, put your 100%, give in your 100% to whatever you do, and then leave the rest. The results will automatically follow. Great, I bore you a great deal now talking about my life story. You must be thinking, oh, this girl, they called her, she's only posting about herself, talking entirely about her life story. But what I wish to say is that, based on all these challenges, I implemented a great deal of strategies in life, right? So a couple of things helped me, like putting in the required hard work, staying strong, persistent. But if you look at it from a top level perspective, there is one thing which combines all of this, and that is my motivation, the inner drive to achieve goals, right? That really kept me going, that really made me implement simple strategies and lifestyle tweaks to stay motivated to achieve my goals, whatever.